video for worksheet 1-2 for the class Discovering Simple and Compound Interest. If you are on outschool.com and you're taking this class, good. I want you to start making sure the answers on your worksheet are correct. If you're not and you would like to take the class that has to do with this worksheet, please look in the description of this video and you'll see a link to the class. Now, my students, let me scroll down so you can see number 5. Number 4 is wonky. Number 4 is wonky on purpose because I want to have a conversation about it, okay? So I made it wonky. So even if you get all of them right, maybe you want to listen to my little spiel about number 4. Maybe that really just doesn't seem right in your head and you want to know what's going on, and I will talk about that. Okay, so pause, correct your paper, come back. I'm going to go forward. All right, so Mr. Webster borrowed $1,280 to buy a new swimming pool. He will pay $57.60 each month for the next 24 months. Find the simple interest rate for his loan. So we're talking about simple interest. We have two formulas. I equals PRT, and we have maturity value equals P plus the interest. So let's fill in what we have. Well, we know that we're borrowing this, so this is my P. And we know the time. The time is 24 months, which is 2 years. Okay, so I'm going to put in what I know. Okay, so that's all I know. I don't know anything else. I can't really solve anything, but I do have this number. He will pay $57.60 each month for 24 months. If I take this payment he's making every single month and multiply it by the amount of payments he's going to make, he's going to make 24 payments in all, then I should be able to get the maturity value, right? Well, let's go ahead and do that and see. Get lined up underneath the 2. Add going down. Put my 2 decimal places back in. And I know over the course of his loan he's going to be paying back $1,482.40. Okay. That's not what I got when I used the calculator. Let me make sure my math is correct. What did I do wrong? Oh, this is a 23. Sorry. All right. So that is the correct answer right there. All right, so this is my maturity value. All right, so now I can put it in right here, and now I can solve because this equation only has one unknown variable, whereas the other equation still has 2. We don't know I and we don't know R. But this is going to solve for I, so I think we're okay. All right, opposite operation, the 1,280 is being added to I, so to get rid of it, I've got to subtract. What I do to one side, the rule of equality says I'm going to do it to both sides. All right. And that gives us, I'm going to go over here, it gives us 102.4 equals I. All right, now I can fill that in for I. This means that over the course of his loan, the bank is going to get this amount of money just for him using the loan. Okay? So I'm going to get these things together by multiplying them. So it's 1,280 times 2. Can't times R. R is just kind of there. It's our unknown. And now to get R by itself, I'm going to have to divide the 2,560 from both sides. And I get an answer of 0.04. So I get to turn this back into percent, and it goes to 4%. That's actually a really good loan for him. Okay, short-term loans are usually higher. Long-term loans like houses and mortgage are smaller, and that has to do with what I was talking about in the last video of that balance between the rate and time. So that's the answer. That's how I got the answer to number 1. Okay, Tim borrows $17,000 for a used car. Ooh, that is a pretty expensive used car. He decides to pay the loan back at a simple interest rate of 4.5% over 10 years. Usually they do not give 10-year car loans, let me tell you. But sometimes you can get one. How much will he pay back for the used car? So our two formulas are the same as the last one. We're still working with our simple interest. So this is how much we borrowed. So this is my principal. I'm going to fill it in to both equations. All right, we have a simple interest rate, and if I turn that into a decimal, move it 2 times, I have 0.45. I mean 0.045. All right, and 10 years is my T. And that's my interest. And over here, I don't know anything else. So I can't use this formula, even though it's saying how much will I pay back altogether. So I need this formula. I can't use it yet because it has 2 unknowns, maturity value and interest. But I have everything to go ahead and solve the interest. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that's 17,000 times 0.045 times 10, which is going to give me $7,000. There's actually a mistake with this answer. So if you watch this video, yeah, I made a decimal mistake, it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and change that. I just must have typed it in when I made the key wrong. So let me do it one more time just to make sure. I'm not making the decimal error now. I'm not, so this answer is wrong. I'll write the right answer in a minute. So now I know that I'm going to be paying $7,650 on this loan. So let's go ahead and add it to our original principal to figure out the total. And that's going to be 0.560. I'm going to end up paying $24,650 on a used car. I could buy a new car for that amount. There are different ways to do this than taking, I want to really implore on you to be looking at these loans when you get older and make sure you're not being taken. Look at what you're going to be paying at the end of the loan. All right, let's look at this one. Cooper wants to buy a new laptop. Best Buy offers a financing plan that allows the laptop to be paid off in 1 year. The repayment value of the loan is $1,875 for $1,250 computer. So this is my maturity value, and this is my principal. If the loan collects a simple interest, what is the rate? So he wants to pay it out in 1 year. So let's go ahead and write our formulas. And let's write what we know. I know the maturity value. I know the time. I know the principal. So I can see that I have an unknown of I and R in this one and just I in this one. So I'm going to have to do this one. So Opposite operation, the 1,250 is being added to I, so I have to subtract it from both sides. So let's go ahead and do that. And I get I equals 625. So that's how much interest we're going to pay on loan. But we need to find the rate. So 1 times this number is just this number, so it's going to be this. So now I'm going to divide, because it's opposite operation to get that R by itself. So 625 divided by 1,250 is going to give me 0.5. Well, a rate of 0.5, move that decimal 2 places, is going to be a simple interest of 50%. Now, that is high, but I want you, and it's probably a little high for Best Buy, but I'm going to tell you those store credit deals that they do, they are really, really high interest rate. And this makes sense. Look, 625 is about half. Our interest is about half what the computer costs. Of course, it was going to be like 50% interest. So you really got to watch the store loan deals. Look at the requirements and everything. It might not be 50%, but some of them are 30% even, and that's a lot. All right, so RJ is looking at different accounts to invest his money. He wants to save up $4,500 within 10 years. Now, this is the one I said was goofy. He would invest, so this is my principal, 250. This is my time, 10. And this is my maturity value. What kind of interest rate would RJ need to make the yield what he wants? Well, let's write down our stuff, and let's write what we have. Don't know my interest, don't know my interest. I know my principal, do not know my R, but I know my T. So I'm going to solve this one first so I can solve for that I, and I is going to equal 4250. Yes. All right, so now I can put that in here. Okay, if I put this amount of money in, I'm going to have to make this somehow an interest. All right, so if I multiply these two, it's 2500R. All right, so now I've got to divide. So I'm going to divide, so 4250 divided by 2500, 1.7R. Move that decimal to place, 170%. That's impossible. It's impossible to find any account that is above 3. Let alone 170% rate. And the whole point of this was to make you say, oh my goodness, look at how different. What he wants to make is 4,500 and he only wants to invest 250. That's not the way investments work. You gotta invest a little bit more. If you want high return, you need to invest high. Okay, so I sometimes teach this class and people are like, yeah, I want to be able to save up for a $30,000 car in 5 years when I turn 17. Well, that's not how you got to put a lot of money down to be able to save that much, okay? You cannot be putting $250 down and think you're going to get close to 5,000. And that's what this question was supposed to show. Yes, interest rate and length of time are very important, but you also have to make a reasonable investment for what you want your maturity value to be. Okay, how many years would it take to pay back a $5,000 loan at 5.2% simple interest if the consumer payback is $7,200 at maturity? So my two things are two formulas. Okay, and the payback, this is my P, this is my MV, this is my R, and we're trying to find T. So my maturity is 7,200 My principal is 500 plus I, which I don't, or 5,000 plus I, which I don't know. Don't know I. I do know my principal is 5,000. I do not know my R. Yeah, I do know my R. Let me move that symbol because I've already lost. I don't know what that was originally. 5.2, which would be 0.052. And T is what I'm trying to find. So I have two unknown variables in this one. I only have one in this one. Let me use this one. And yeah, that's what I thought. 2,200 is my I. Now let's put that in over here. It's kind of a lot of interest, but it's a fairly high interest rate too. All right, I need to multiply my interest rate and my principal. All right, and I get 260. All right, let's come up here. All right, opposite operation says I'm going to divide both sides by the 260. And I get 8.46, which I'm going to round up to 8.5 years. And I actually got 8.461538462, and I decided to round it to the nearest tenths, because really when we're putting together loans, if we round it up to 8.5, it would just mean at that 6th month we would pay slightly less than the other months. All right, that's all of worksheet number 2. If you have any questions, please contact me. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.